Okay, here we go. It says we're going live.
Right.
It says we're going live. It says we're here.
I don't know.
I know.
Oh, wait.
I mean,
Oh, got an ad.
the real question is, do we remember how to do this?
I have no clue.
We did okay when we did some recording earlier today. I mean, we did okay.
That was then. This is now.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I'm not 100% convinced we can be seen and heard. I do need my existence validated because it would not surprise me at all if all of the settings were not correct.
Well, you know, coming back after, 2 weeks? 2.5 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
We immediately had technical issues.
We did. We really, really did. We were trying to be here like 7 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It was not working well. It's not working well. I'm going to move forward as if we are here. Hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM. Yeah, that's our name. Where we help kids like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. Oh my God.
You sure about that?
This is our weekly live stream where we record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. Lord. As of right this moment, we're technically 3 minutes early. If you're here for the stream and don't like idle chit chat, just know it'll be more than 3 minutes. We got to ease in, and whatever the bumpy ride was to get started today was not the easing in that I had looked forward to. So if you're here after the stream, but before I put in timestamps, I mean, just fast forward, and I don't know how long to tell you. Just a few minutes. That's fine. Lord.
Wow.
Right? And you know what's sad? Yesterday, I had, because of what we're doing today, today's topic, I had to go back and look at the episode from a year ago, and it put me in my feels, and not in a good way, partly because of how hopeful we were, and then I know how that ended, and also because I'm sitting there listening to me going, oh my God, I ramble. I mean, I know I ramble. Like, you can know it, but not really listen to yourself. Went back and I was like, is this who I am?
Self-realization is a thing, you know?
I mean, that's the thing, though. I already know. I'm aware. You think I can't tell when people's eyes glaze over? But yeah. So it was all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna say hi to folks. I'm gonna do that. Hi, Blue. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Eva. Hello, John Brownstone. Hi, Silent. Hi, Kim. Hi, JB. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Jay. Hi, Pinky. Hi, Dorina. Hi, Dark Blue Heaven.
You know, you would think you'd say that with a little bit more enthusiasm, knowing that I jump in there and engage with the folks that are here.
It's the only thing you ever type. And you make sure to do it before I go through my hellos. And the one time I did try to skip you because I was like, he's right the fuck here. You got your feelings hurt and made a point to go, you're not going to say hello to me. So I know that you only do it so that I include you in the hello list. And that little giggle and snort thing tells me I'm 100% right. There's no doubt. There's no doubt at all. We're back. We are back.
Did you miss us?
On a for us cold Florida day.
Yeah.
I realize that I keep wearing this when we live stream and record videos. I don't care. It is the thing that keeps me warm. I do also have my fuzzy socks on. Those are not helping. My toes are still cold, which I know Florida cold is not cold where you are. I get it. Okay. It's fine. I know. But I'm cold. My fingers are cold.
Yeah.
Hi, Jessica. I mean, it's technically noon.
Okay.
Are we technically getting started?
Excuse me. And hold that thought.
Okay, so we're not technically getting started then. Because JB has wandered off. So. Yeah. You're putting your sweater on?
Yes.
You're going to cover up your Trans-Siberian Orchestra shirt a little bit. One of his souvenirs from the concert that we went to. You got the cool shirt, I think. It's the Wizard.
The Wizard, yep.
The Wizard.
The Wiz.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Are you good? Are you settled? Are you ready? I mean, I don't really remember what to do. So,
Well, at some point we got to bring in the podcast.
yeah, but I got to do the intro here.
Okay.
Right. And then we'll let chaos reign.
As usual.
As if it's not already. Whatever.
Right.
Whatever. Okay. Card. Oh, he wrote very nice things. Silent, for anybody who's not looking at live chat, Silent sees the card that she and X sent. It's a beautiful card, by the way, Silent. Yeah. And he said, "We wish you both all the best in the coming year. We've included a selection of Canadian delicacies to help fuel you." That was the package. It was delicious. It's been delicious. May all your kinky dreams come true.
Yes, thank you. It's been wonderful having them to nibble on.
And then we also got the Meowie Christmas Happy Holidays card, which is beautiful. I'm kind of tempted to start doing the send us cards and postcards thing, but I don't know if I have the energy to send stuff back. Because, well, it's pressure that I put on myself to, like, try to say something, you know, interesting and unique and personal and blah, blah, blah. And then I start running out of words. And I just want to, and so, I don't.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I think I'm in my lazy era, but we'll call it efficiency. Because there's so many things that require effort, and I don't want to have to put in effort. But there are things that require effort, and I do want to put in effort, and I don't mind putting in that effort. But there are things that I'm like, that would be nice. However, I don't want to put in the effort for that. And then I just feel guilty. Okay.
All right, come on.
For anybody who's been fast forwarding or trying to come back, I told you we would be late starting. For this episode, first one of 2024, happy belated New Year's, everybody. We are going to do hopefully a quick recap of how our 2023 goals went. And then talk about our 2024 goals. If you enjoy this at any point, we love a thumbs up. If you like it enough to want to come back for more, please consider subscribing.
And once you subscribe, ring that notification bell to get updates and new content.
And I don't know how often I'll remember to say this. We do have a completely arbitrary goal of finally getting to 10,000 subscribers. Why are we not there yet? Well, probably because our content's not that good. Most people don't want to listen to ramble, and we will never be blessed by the YouTube algorithm.
No.
We use the word BDSM, kink, fuck, and sex too often. So we are like inch by inch growth kind of thing. Tell your friends about us kind of thing. Just saying. Yep. So, you know, I'm going to try and remind folks that we have that arbitrary goal. Nothing magical will happen when we hit 10 grand. It'll just make me feel better. I don't know. And if you really like what we do, want to help us do more of it, you can join us on Patreon, patreon.com/killalords, link below. Or you can join us here on YouTube if you are like, I don't do anything but YouTube. Everything is YouTube. YouTube is life. We have a membership thing here as well. So, I think that's it, and you can hit the button.
All right.
I don't know what I have forgotten to know if I have forgotten anything, so.
All right, I'm hitting the button.
Okay. Silent in live chat asks if that's meowing. Yes, I believe that's Ella.
Yes, it's Ella.
It's Ella meowing. I don't have any announcements because the things that would probably make the announcements list are really future things that will come in when we're talking about our 2024 kinky goals and plans. So I'm going to skip that part. I'll just remind you, we have an Etsy shop, link in the places. The Kinkery still exists, link in the places. Patreon, link in the places. All the things, the links are in the places. However you would like to.
Links to the left of me.
Links to the right of me. Okay. So for this week's episode, I keep saying it because I want it to be true. We're going to try and do a brief update on our 2023 goals. And then we're going to kind of go over what our kinky plans. I say goals because that's like the buzzword, but it's really plans. My goal is to like survive and maybe thrive. Like that's the goal. The goal is to do a little bit better than we did last year. So it's more plans than goals. If anybody either didn't see last year's video or listen to last year's podcast episode, and you want to hear all of that ramble, I have linked it in the places as well, but we are going to hopefully quickly go over the 2023 stuff, then get into 2024 stuff. So I'm going to put you, JB, on the spot. And when I say quickly, I really do mean it. So your personal goals for 2023 was to go to the gym consistently, get more in-depth knowledge and learning and training on kink things, and make more personal connections in the kink community. How did you do?
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
1 out of 3 ain't bad. That's a 33% success rate.
And even that was marginal, but yeah, no.
Well, you started out strong with the gym.
I did.
And then that fizzled, but you got busy and overwhelmed.
Right.
So there were things going on.
There were a lot of things going on.
It was not further injury, y'all. It wasn't.
No.
It was kind of the typical gym thing.
My mental health tanked.
It did. That's true.
It hit rock bottom last year, and that kind of blew everything that I had that I wanted to do out of the water. Thankfully, towards the end of 2023, got that under.
Yeah, your sad be gone pills have been
marvelous. They've helped tremendously, and so yeah, by the going into the end of this year, I've started going back to munches and different functions that have been going on in the community.
Yeah, because when your mental health tanked, you didn't go do anything.
That.
So you started your plan for the gym strong, and it fizzled. You kind of fizzled in the middle of the year on your personal connections in the kink community, but you picked it back up towards the end. I count that as a success. What about your desire to get more in-depth kink knowledge? What happened with that? Life? Was it just life? It's usually life.
That was a combination of different things. That was a mix of my mental health and work got busy.
Yeah. I mean, and that was a good thing for work to get busy.
Definitely was a good thing. I'm not complaining about that. But things got very busy for me on a number of levels with the work, and I'm kind of with that aspect of it, the work aspect. I'm okay with that.
Especially once you kind of like dealt a little bit more with your mental health and got that out of the bottom it was at and on the in the right direction, I guess. And then I started helping more. The work part became, busy, stressful, but great. Like stressful in a good way. But that didn't leave a lot of time for all the others.
No.
Okay. So, my personal 2023 goals, I was going to talk to my doctor about HRT. I was going to try and find my libido again by doing things like on my own. And then I was going to focus on getting physically stronger and reducing stress. Half out of 3 is definitely not good. So I did go on hormone replacement therapy.
Yeah.
For anybody who's new here, had a partial hysterectomy end of 2021, and I'm in perimenopause, and the hormones have just fucking tanked, and it's affecting every part of my life. I got the HRT, and then the dose and the type that my doctor prescribed was not doing what she thought it should do. So what she decided was that I should come off of it so we can test my baseline again. And so I've been off of it for 2.5 months now. I go for blood work this week, this Friday, the day the episode comes out for podcast listeners, and then I have an appointment with her at the end of January. And it's so weird to be like, I pray that my hormones are like negative numbers so she'll put me fucking back on it, because it wasn't. We weren't 100% there on dosage, but I was feeling better.
You were doing better. While your hot flashes didn't go away, they subsided.
Yeah, and now they're back with a vengeance.
Your libido did kind of
came back
out
a little bit. Yeah, that was nice. My brain, had less brain fog. Like I could actually hold a thought in my head for more than a few minutes. So yeah, and depending on what this doctor says at the end of January, will determine if I stay with this doctor. And to find my libido again, I I tried. I have a stack of sex toys sitting in the bedroom that I'm like, I should charge those and try those. Wouldn't that be nice? And then I just haven't. I did finally get back to reading not as much erotica as I originally planned, but I am reading romance, air quote, spicy romance, you know, basically with like the good sex scenes. I'm currently in the middle of like a romance fantasy thing. And when they have sex, it's not as direct and to the point as like some erotica is, but it's hot. I'm like, yes, I'm here for this. And while I was on HRT, that did something. And now that the hormone, whatever my hormones are doing, I'm like, yes, that is objectively spicy and sexy and hot, but no, it's the engine's still cold. So that's been not fun. Focusing on getting physically stronger and reducing stress. Yeah. Part of it was I did have some neck and arm issues through the beginning of the year.
Right.
I still have some of those ongoing, and also I just haven't put in the effort. It's one of those things where you know what to do and then you just don't do it. It's one of those. Our goal for each other in 2023 was to play more often. We did until we didn't.
Right.
First 6 months of the year, we were on it.
Yeah.
Last 6 months of the year, we were not. We were not. Business goals: do more events for the Kinky, reach more people in our community, and OnlyFans. We tried to do an event for the Kinky, thekinky.com. We had to pull out at the last minute. That was in April.
Yeah.
Because your health had tanked and some things had gone on, and it was bad. So, but we did do an extra event December 30th of 2023, like right
Correct.
before we hit 2024. And that was a play party in Gainesville that also had a vendor aspect. It was good. We liked the organizers. We liked the event. You ended up being one of the dungeon monitors. Yeah. Like, you know, that was cool.
It was a good, I enjoyed it. I you know, even though we were working, I enjoyed it. The energy was good. The people there were good. And it was great.
Yeah.
I had a wonderful time.
The only thing I'm like, I wish there was something I could have done about this. There just wasn't because of the nature of it. It was a play party with scenes going on, which was fine, and music up and loud. And so then trying to interact with customers, and I was constantly going, that part was, we dealt with it. But the other hard part was we still haven't, we're working on it now, haven't had a chance to fully restock. So we brought some of our more basic stuff, but not as much of our like real fun stuff that gets people's attention. And so, but we like the organizer. She seems to like us. We talked about maybe doing future stuff with them. Reaching more people in our community. We stayed about steady in terms of numbers and growth. But we also know that people wander off. They have other things going on, and then new people wander in. And so that's fine. OnlyFans, we had a good 6-month run. But the rule was we both had to be enthusiastic about it. And your mental health tanked in the middle of the year, and you were no longer enthusiastic.
About anything,
including setting up lights and camera to film us scening. So the OnlyFans is on hiatus. I would be willing to go back to it, but we have not actually sat down and talked about that.
No, we haven't. And now we have, another obstacle.
Yes, we do. We do. We now have a kid who's home all day, every day. So the update is almost nothing went to plan. I feel like that is the story of our lives.
Yeah.
Which, when I went back to like remind myself what the hell the goals were, and I listened to what we were talking about with like hope and conviction, and then I thought about how we had not accomplished any of those things, at least long term, or long enough that we are still doing them, or anything like that. It was depressing. It made me a little sad.
Yeah.
I was like, what? So,
yeah.
But now Now we're going to talk about the year ahead. Now, here's where I think we are chaos incarnate. We have not actually sat down and planned our business goals.
No, which is odd because it's usually something we do right at the end of the year.
But I and you wanted to, but I finally said, can we just have an actual break when we take time off? Let us not plan our whole life for the year ahead. Mm-hmm. Let us just revel in the ability to sit still. And there's Lola howling in the background. She would like to come in. But part of it is I'm not afraid to like have these conversations in front of y'all, but
same pants I was wearing when I
but also we will have a more in-depth conversation. We can talk about our plans for things. I mean, I think I can say that our business goals are for 2024, keep growing the Kinky and do more events. We are looking at an event in March already.
Correct.
And then the group that did the play party that we just were at, we know we want to work with them again. So that's we're rolling from 2023 into 2024 on that. Of course, we want to grow Loving BDSM. The 10,000 subscriber arbitrary number for YouTube, we're definitely looking at. We will do the Patreon membership drive. Mm-hmm. The only thing we have to solidify between one another is what the goodies will be. We're not making a bunch of changes to our Patreon for this year. I think the content we've been creating over there, we're going to keep doing. The tiers we have, we're going to keep doing. So there's not a lot of changes for that. It's just I picked what I'd like us to give, and then I did the math. So it's a commitment, and so we have to have a conversation about it. So those kinds of goals and plans are still in place.
Right.
This probably is more on the personal side of that. Just know that I want to grow the Etsy shop. All the things we do business wise is growth and growth and growth.
Yeah.
Because I think, like I said at the top, I would like to not just survive but thrive again. So
Yes.
So for
I think we're both in agreement with that.
Yes. So for 2024, what kind of kinky goals, plans, ideas do you have? What would you like to do?
Well, considering I really didn't do anything I set out to do last year, anything I do this year will be a big
That's true. That's true. Hey,
well,
can you beat your 33% sort
right.
of
So, I mean, one of the things that I wanted to do last year was learn more rope. Mm-hmm. And, dive into that. And I even joined a site for it. And a great site that has a lot of good information and stuff in there.
I know, we should do a review of them.
Yep.
He's a paid member also, they wouldn't be paying us to say anything nice about him.
And, yeah, I still want to do that. So, there is that. My other goal this year is to continue getting out in the community, and being with more people, and I have been doing that. I've been enjoying it, and want to continue doing that. There has been a masked chapter.
And tell for folks who don't know, what is masked?
Masters and Slaves Together. And I attended the first meeting. Wonderful group of people there. Really enjoyed it and intend to make it back for upcoming meetings. And what else?
I mean,
we kind of talked about this a little bit last year. Back in October, we did attend a play party.
Oh, yeah, we did. That's right. Mm-hmm. Sorry. Yeah, we did. I remember that now. I had all the social anxiety. It was, that part was not delightful. The scene was great. The scene was good.
The scene was great. And I hope, because of the way things have changed for us here at home, that we can do a little more like that going forward. Like we talked about the other night, we immensely enjoyed the play party, even though we were working there.
I liked how they set it up. I liked,
And they're talking about maybe doing it again next month. Don't know if we would work it at that point. It might be too soon for us, but would definitely attend to play.
Oh yeah, I would do that.
So, that's something to keep open the possibility of more play parties to get out and do some things that we don't have the opportunity to do now here
at home. No, I mean, we stopped doing OnlyFans, which means we stopped playing regularly because of there not being enough enthusiasm to go around for it. But then we made some family decisions that meant that there's almost no time when there's not a child here, and those scenes that we were recording got loud. It just the nature of them. And the question I asked last year that didn't really get answered because we had to just kind of go through everything else was, okay, if we stop doing this to play, what are we going to replace it with? And there was no answer in 2023.
No.
But until October when we went to that play party. But in 2024, the youngest is better able to handle being on his own for long stretches of time. Like he's not old enough yet that we would leave him overnight. Like that's not happening. But we've gone to Orlando and not come back until midnight. We went the event we did at the end of December was in Gainesville, sure, but it didn't end until 1. Conceivably, we might not have left until 2, which wouldn't have put us home till 3. And we were like, "You got this. You're fine." We got home at 2. It was great.
Yep.
But so we're as those opportunities come to us, whether to do business stuff away or to go to events and play parties as just kinksters who want to get our kink on, we are able to do more of that. That's just not as regular and consistent as I was enjoying last year and would like to enjoy again. But that's just the nature of things as they are right now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I've known for a while, but I feel like I just really have internalized in the past 6 to 9 months, which is it's fine to have plans. It's fine to have goals. I'm typically a very goal-oriented person. And frankly, I have one main goal, well, 2 main goals right now. 1, help the kids be healthy and thrive. And 2, deal with our personal financial situation. And almost all my energy goes into both of those things. And so creating separate goals outside of that is like it's less energizing than it used to be. But the thing that I've come to terms with, and not in a way that makes me feel bad, just a thing that I go, this is life, is that it doesn't matter what your plans are, it doesn't matter what your goals are, life is gonna throw you curveballs. You have to, deal with the reality in front of you. And I have got many, many, many years of my life where I was like, oh, I have, things going on in my personal life that I really should put all of my attention into, but I've decided on these arbitrary goals, and I think I'm a failure if I don't try to do both, handle my life and go after my goals. And what I finally come to realize is, okay, what is the most important thing? That's what I need to focus on. And if it means that the plans I had just have to wither on the vine or take a back seat, doesn't mean that I'm a failure. It's just the nature of things. Yeah. Also, I think we talked about this last year and in years past. The year ending and starting is kind of arbitrary. The goals we have are ongoing. They don't stop just because 2023 ended.
Yeah, no.
If it's things you want or things that are meaningful to you and that you feel like you can work towards, then doesn't matter what the date on the calendar says. So
yeah, I mean it's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of funny. My mental health tanked last year, but my physical health improved. My back has been doing very well.
I know you're no longer on the you have to come every 6 to 8 weeks list with your ortho.
Yeah. And one of the things I did start out last year going to the gym because they did have an aquatic program, and I was doing that, and kind of stopped.
I know it was your mental health and there were things going on, but also you've hit a point where you were like, I'm not enjoying these classes the way I once was.
Right.
Some of this is cringy and it's annoying and I don't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a valid reason not to go anymore.
Yeah. And I'm debating. The gym actually called me yesterday, oddly enough.
See if you wanted to renew.
See if I wanted to renew. And I told them, hold off and get back to me in 2 months. Mm-hmm. And, while I did enjoy the workouts in the pool, with the classes, things got a little...
It wasn't your vibe.
No.
It was not your vibe. No.
Far from my vibe.
But you bought the supplies you needed, and the place did have a pool you could just go to.
Right.
So. And that's what I kept gently.
I know. So I'm gonna kind of give it the 2 months at this point, and kind of see, because I know one of the things last year going into the first of the year, I struggled after the holidays to restock the shop.
Yeah. Yeah, you were a hamster on a wheel kind of thing there.
I was chasing the carrot big time. And I'm hoping with the way that things have been put in place towards the end of this year that it won't be the carrot chase for me to restock.
Yeah, we have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
We have a plan.
So, and if we can get through that, then, we'll see.
Yeah. Anything else for your 2024 goals, plans? I feel a little cynical about planning for 2024 because of 2023, because all the grand plans, then life interferes. And there's a part of me that goes, why even bother making plans? But I don't think that's...
What is that they say, the best laid plans of...
Mice and Men. Yeah, we said that last year too.
Yeah.
How do I know? Because I watched that episode again.
Consistency, if nothing else.
But I do like to have something to work towards and look forward to.
Yeah.
So the top goal for me on a personal level is to get my mental and physical health in a better place, because quite frankly, everything else kind of follows from there. I know that'll start with the conversation about HRT again. Mm-hmm. I probably need to see an ortho myself. I think in April we've got a follow-up with our primary care, who's the one that prescribed what we like to call our Sad Begone pills. I did not get them prescribed to me for Sad Begone. I got them prescribed off-label use. They have not worked off-label use, but that's okay.
They haven't worked off-label use for me either.
No, but they've worked for their intended purpose for you, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. I continue to want to the extent that my body is capable of it, to improve my health so that, one, I can keep working and, doing what we need to do to pay the mortgage, but also, to be able to do more kink things and hold a position a little bit longer, get into a position,
Yeah.
I know that might not always be the case, that there may come a day where I just physically can't. It doesn't matter, what I do, and that'll be a thing to deal with when that happens. But at this point in time, until told otherwise, it is my lack of consistent exercise, constant stress, not sleeping well. If I just did simple things, and I know if I did those simple things, because I did those simple things,
and it helped,
a year ago, and it was all helping. I just have to do it. And I know that, if I had to wave a magic wand and go, what do I want for 2024? I think I want some of the overwhelm to dissipate.
Yeah.
I could tell you all the things that if these things would happen, I would be less overwhelmed, but I don't know how to make those things happen. The end of 2023, the last 3 months, my focus was on the 14-year-old's mental and physical health. There have been lots of doctor's appointments. There have been lots of conversations. There's a plan in place. We kind of know what's going on. But that's been my focus from August to now, the 18-year-old's in college, and that's, he definitely needs me a lot less. It's not the same level, but that's a transition period. The personal finance stuff that we don't really talk about, that never goes away. Never seems to get better. Yeah. That's on my mind. So it's like, well, what do I want for me? And for me, a lot of it just comes back to steadier mental health. Because then I would like to think then some other things would be easier. It would be easier to go to play parties. What I have found, though, is the play party that we went to on December 30th, where we were a vendor, so we were not attending, weirdly, that is way more my speed than somebody's home house party where, like, I'm up close and, like, within 5 feet of people. And, like, the big, like, what's the word I want? Sort of the anonymous kind of thing where you can sit off at a table by yourself and stare off into space and it don't matter. I wouldn't, I'd be with you, so I'd be staring off into your face, but whatever. And you go and you play and maybe you get a couple drinks afterwards, or you do whatever, blah, blah, afterwards for us. We don't play under the influence of anything, but listen to some music, have, eat a little and then go. And it's, that kind of thing is definitely more my speed, and I am down to do more of that. Am I down to go to more munches? At this moment, it depends. There was a munch you went to right before the end of the year. And the only reason I did not go is because I just had too much to do, and that was my only day to do it. And so I made the assurance that when that particular munch came up again, I would be willing as long as my head will let me. And so, and I think anybody who has their own mental health stuff will understand, and probably even neurodivergency will understand, because I don't know how much of what I go through is which of either side of that. You can want to on one level, you can be like, that would be a great idea. That aligns with my goals. That would make my partner happy. That would not be the worst thing ever. And then there will be a part of you that goes, I can't. And I don't like that. I don't like that about myself. I want to improve that. And so I keep going back to, if I can improve my mental and physical health and start working towards that goal, then I can do more of the things I want to do. Go to more play parties, go to more munches, finally get to a point where we're maybe doing more speaking things or online courses or, but yeah, at this point, I think I would just like to have fewer dumpster fires to put out.
That would be nice.
I know.
That would be nice in and of itself.
I know. So yeah, my plans are to take care of me to the extent that I can and that finances allow, because if you're not American, you don't know, it is very expensive to try to take care of your health in the U.S. It is very expensive. And then I just feel like from there, other things will follow, because then maybe the fog will lift out of my mind a little bit and I can go, okay, I'm making decisions based on what I want to do and not, the miasma that holds me down. But in thinking about 2024 goals and looking back at 2023 plans and goals and seeing how they didn't really happen. I would absolutely trade the youngest going through his health stuff. Like, I don't want him to go through it, but me putting my attention and focus there is not a thing I regret. It's like, that's where my attention and focus need to be, but it is still ongoing. It hasn't stopped yet. We just got a reprieve because there's been no school for 2 weeks. And so it's going to start back up actually day after this recording. And then that'll be my focus, needing to sell the things, do the things, be the, business person that I am. that's what pays the mortgage. So that's my focus. And I'm not saying that this is a good or healthy thing, but you know, my focus is always on who needs me most, what needs me most. And right, wrong, or otherwise, as long as I am functioning, I'm at the bottom of that list. Now, there will come a point, we've had these conversations in past episodes, where my well is empty and dry, and I cannot put myself last. I need to take priority. I think I have energy for those things right now because we did take the 2 weeks off, because I did I just sat the fuck down.
Yeah.
I watched TV, I read books, you know, I cooked. Like, I don't ever like just make shit. Like, I was baking and cooking and doing all kinds of stuff.
I think we both kind of impressed each other on this past
the ability to sit still. Yeah. And it was nice. But yeah, I think Lola would like to go out. This is what I think. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of depressing, and I don't have any good goals or plan. Like, the things I want to try to have happen in 2024 are good things, but like, I don't feel like I have any interesting kink plans, you know? Like, I want to be healthier on some level so that I can make and keep my kink plans. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's a bummer. I feel like it's certainly not insightful. Or maybe it's too insightful and it's like, well, that was too much information. Kayla, go see a therapist. If I could afford it. But yeah, on a completely, speaking of that, if you live in a country where you don't have to worry about insurance, just be very grateful, because of paperwork issues, both kids are without insurance for the month of January.
Yeah.
And do they have doctor's appointments left, right, and center? Of course they do. So we're self-pay for a month. Fun. And I'm helping the 18-year-old navigate it because he's on our insurance, and it's still me helping him, but he's technically an adult, so everybody wants to talk to him. And he texts me and goes, "Mom, what do I say?" Not a problem. I'll give you a script. Here we go. So yeah, there's just, we're in, and we've been in one of these times of life where the top of mind stuff is not our kink life. The top of mind stuff is not our power exchange. The top of mind stuff is get through the day to day, which part of your life needs your attention the most in this moment, and that's constantly shifting. And that's not unique to us. Everybody goes through it. If you haven't gone through it yet, you are lucky. You are in the flow and haven't hit an ebb. I keep telling myself that the ebb doesn't last forever. And when I compare 2021 and 2022 to 2023, 2023 was a huge improvement.
It was.
A massive improvement.
It actually was. You know, all things considered, was steps above the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. You keep talking about the dog.
You know, so yeah, you know, while we did not maybe hit a lot of our goals, there were some really good successes throughout the year last year.
Yes, and I would like to repeat those. I'll take successes.
Right. And I think we are in a place that we can definitely repeat some of that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm excited about that. Like, when it comes to the business stuff, the professional stuff, the way the Kinky grew in 2023, I'm like, wow, if we can stay kind of on that trajectory, 2024 could be amazing.
Right.
Then comes the stress of, oh shit, we have to figure out what we need to do to make that happen. Now, part of that is stress I thrive on. Like, those kinds of goals I'm here for. Partly because those kinds of goals feel a lot more tangible. I can look at dollars here, over there. Also, that is related to money, and we are financially insecure. This is not me with a handout. This is not me going, please join our Patreon, like some people do. This is not me. This is just me saying we are grown-ass adults who are self-employed, and the vast majority of self-employed people have their moments when they are financially insecure, and that's us right now. And so I get a lot more excited and passionate and happy to follow the dopamine on the professional goals, the business goals, where it's tangible dollars compared year over year, month to month, quarter to quarter. Like, I'm here for it, because those are things where I can see a near immediate, there's a word I want, but basically progress. You, and sometimes I, with help, we make the thing, we market the thing, we sell the thing.
Yeah.
And it is super easy to put all of my energy into that. It's also super easy to burn out.
Yeah.
If you've wondered why, if you happen to follow us on the handle I hate over on Instagram, well, I haven't posted in over a month, that would be why. It's very easy to burn out. So, yeah, I mean, like, if anybody wants to geek out on business shit, I could probably talk about that all fucking day. But what happens, for me at least, is when I'm focused on that for damn good reasons. I can't go to a doctor and deal with my mental or physical health if we don't sell enough shit to pay for that, right? Like, it's easy to focus on that because it guides and directs so much of our lives, right? But then I have to think about, what do I personally want to do? Well, I personally want to be a little less stressed and maybe sleep through the night again. That's what I personally want to do.
Same.
I would like to doom scroll less and disassociate less. And have a thought come into my head that I'm going to do a thing and then go fucking do the thing.
Yeah.
That is what I want.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how to plan for 2024 other than I want to continue the things that we wanted to do in 2023
Right.
and that we were working towards. I want to keep improving year over year, personally and professionally. I want to do shit that makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't mean that there won't be shit I have to do that doesn't make me happy. I just want to do more shit that I enjoy. Right. Kink and non-kink. I mean, I have... Did I manage to read like 60 books in 6 weeks as probably a way to avoid just everything? I mean, no. And I'm probably going to keep that up as long as the brain is willing to focus on that. Yes. Yes, I am. But I don't know. Yeah, so it's a depressing 2024. Goals and plans for me, because there's nothing exciting there. There's not even anything specifically kinky. It's if I can help myself in other ways, then I can do more kinky things. Then I'm physically and mentally available to do more kinky things. Yeah. And so that is my overall kinky plan. I don't know what this episode would have done for anybody other than for those people who like to know what like other people are thinking and dealing with. There you go. I hope we've scratched that itch for you. I'm also one of those people, so like I don't mind. If it makes you feel better because you don't have a lot of goals or plans, or you're feeling bad because what you planned for 2023 didn't work out, hey, I'm happy to wave that flag for you and go, you're good, you're valid, it's okay. But whether we inspired anything other than, sad feelings, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. And for anybody who is well-meaning but gonna probably leave a comment somewhere about what I should do and what I shouldn't do, and if I just did these things, that all of my problems would work out. I know exactly what I need to do. You know exactly what you need to do. It's not a not knowing thing.
Right.
It's never a not knowing.
Yeah.
So, on that kind of depressing note, I guess those are our goals. Those are our plans. A continuation of 2023. Just, a little bit modified, I think. And I guess we can go into a bonus section.
Okay.
You're wearing your Trans-Siberian Orchestra shirt. I know we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Did you wear it so that we could talk about it, or just because it made you happy to wear it?
Just made me happy to wear it.
Then you should do it. I'm glad you did.
That's what I'm doing.
I know.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay. So are we good?
That is not for me to say.
Okay.
Keep it kinky, y'all. And we'll see you next week. Daddy.
Yes, baby girl.
Can I talk to the crickets?
By all means.
Aw, thank you. Did I sound so pitiful that you felt bad for me?
I gave you such a hard time at the end of the year on our last one. I figured I might as well just...
That was genuinely amusing, even though it was very frustrating for me to be on the receiving end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got way too much only child energy because I am an only child, to be able to handle that kind of teasing. But you know.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. I always feel very weird when I go, let me tell you about how things aren't good, and yet I can't like offer a solution. And let me tell you about how things will be better. Let me offer hope. Let me be optimistic. It's a little too much of bearing my soul. Like there's a part of me that does not think that I should publicly talk about my own shit unless I can also talk about what I'm doing to fix it, make it better, deal with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't really have that. So then it's weird to even talk about. So let's talk about, we went to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert in Orlando on December 22nd last year.
Loved it.
I know, you were adorable. So let's start with the story about how we weren't sure we were going to get there.
Yeah.
And not because anything like came up that would have prevented us. We were trying to arrive in Orlando when the doors opened, which was an hour before the concert started, because I was like, whew, we'll have time to go to the bathroom, maybe get a snack, maybe whatever, do our souvenir shopping, which was really JB's souvenir shopping because it was his anniversary / Christmas present. That did not happen because it was Christmas weekend, essentially, going into Orlando. We don't even take I-75, which is usually like the hellscape interstate to take. We take Turnpike, where we pay tolls for it to supposedly suck less.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, at one point, there was a lot of stop and go traffic that was super stop with a little bit of go. But then there was a point we literally just sat on the road for 20 plus minutes without moving. And we're all just watching the clock tick down.
Yeah.
We're like, holy shit, are we, not only are we not making it for when the doors open, are we going to make it in time for the damn concert? And then we finally get to Orlando and it's time to go to park for the concert, and we prepaid for the parking garage, so it was like one less thing to have to worry about. But apparently a lot of other people did too, and a lot of other people were getting off both the interstate and our road and all that right at 2:30, and the concert start time was 2:30. We got in there just a few minutes after it started. We barely missed anything. I'm not even sure we missed any part of the actual concert performance.
Right.
I think it was like maybe a warm-up person or something. Yeah. But yeah, it was high stress for everybody. JB's like, I don't want to miss this. He and I were both, we talked about this later, trying to be positive for the other, but inside we're like, oh my God, what happens if we don't make it?
Right.
But don't worry, the kids were willing to be vocal in their fears, because they're in the back going, are we actually going to make it? What happens if we don't make it? And we're in the front seat trying to put a positive face on it. We made it. It was fine. We did. We had nosebleed seats because tickets ain't cheap. Anybody who goes to anything knows that. But man, nosebleed is nosebleed. We got up to our row, and I'm standing trying to go to the seat, and there's like this just drop off next to me, and I'm like, I am a clumsy person with bad balance. This is not the row for me. So we decided, new goal, if we ever get to go again, we go when we can get slightly better seats. The one level down was like less, what's the word I want? There's a word I want.
Angly?
Angly. Yeah. 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 But my favorite part is, so JB is the emotional one between us. Like, look, I don't like showing that I have emotions. Unless
Scorpio bitch from hell, folks.
Unless that emotion is annoyance and sarcasm. But I actually don't like to show the annoyance because somebody might get mad at me and then I like can't handle it. And thanks, childhood trauma. But you tend to wear your heart on your sleeve. And he was so happy to be there that all I heard, and I won't speak for you for what happened, I heard sniffles, and it was not because he had a cold. And so I just leaned into him, looped my arm through his and patted his knee. And then just cheesy fucking grin, because I knew he was getting a little emotional over it. So that's my part of it. Go.
Yeah. I mean, I did. Going to see TSO was something I didn't think I would get to do. Mm-hmm. And it was really amazing. It was a fantastic show. The music, the orchestration, I enjoyed everything about the show. I soaked it up.
What I did not realize, I wouldn't have known anyway, but just didn't know, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert, like the first hour is like a Christmas story with some music and a narrator,
Mm-hmm.
and the narrator had a great voice, and and that was okay, interesting. But then there's like a whole second hour where they're just like jamming, and it's Christmas stuff, but that's when I realized that going forward, the only Christmas music I will accept is Trans-Siberian Orchestra Christmas music. I'm gonna need some screaming guitars and some heavy
pyrotechnics,
bass. Yeah.
and yeah.
That's the only way I will accept Christmas music from here on out. So yeah.
But no, it was a good time. It was really an excellent start to our break, our holiday break.
Yeah, that was. We had technically been on break from like making content for a few days, but that was the day that I put up the close sign on the Kinky. I was like, oh, the shop is open, but we're not here. And hey, we actually like really did that. Like we didn't mess with our shop for like 4 or 5 days.
No.
And it started with a concert.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did go out in the shop twice. I turned a couple bowls. And but other than that, I did not work for the duration of our break. I actually hands off to the shop. Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of time sitting on the sofa. I made it all the way to the end of Walking Dead, mm-hmm. to the end of the series. Started a couple other series.
Yeah, we started watching Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
Weirdly, we never finished all of Big Bang Theory. We got through most of it, but we never finished it. And then I think it was Instagram. The algorithm kept showing me Young Sheldon clips, and I kept sharing them or going, look, watch this over my shoulder. And then we watched the preview on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And we just laughed.
Yep.
And now we're already through like middle of or almost to the end of season 2, and we only watched for like 2 or 3 days over our break.
Yeah.
We've already gotten busy enough again that it's like, oh, do we have time to sit down and watch that? But yeah, it's been nice. You also started a Star Trek series? Okay.
Yeah, an animated Star Trek series, Prodigy.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of enjoying that. It's animated, but it has a fairly decent story arc.
Yeah.
And an actor that I liked from many years ago is doing one of the voices, John Noble. He was played lead in a series called Fringe years ago, which was like a sci-fi kind of thing on TV. And oh gosh, I can't think of her name, but the actress that played Captain Janeway.
Yeah. I don't know that actress's name.
She is voicing her Janeway character in the animated series. So it's it's pretty good. I'm enjoying the show.
I'm just glad you're watching something that I don't feel like I have to hide in the bedroom like I do, because I have lost the ability to like read a book even with a TV going on. I used to be able to do that and I can't. So if I want to read, I have to go in the other room. But like when you were watching Walking Dead the last couple seasons to finish the show, every time I just happened to glance at the screen, some zombie was ripping the throat out of somebody. I was like, no, it's too much. So if it was on, I had to hide away. You watching this show, though, like I was cooking in the kitchen. I was doing stuff. I was working. I could walk back and forth and it was okay.
Right.
So I appreciate that. So, yeah. I mean, but you've taken the time. We've taken the time to just slow down.
Yeah.
Which, weirdly, I didn't say this to you yesterday, day before, but I realized it like last night. I think I went through some equivalent of drop from the break being over to getting back into the chaos of everything we do, because so we're recording on Wednesday. Tuesday was our first day back. We took the first off, or like it's New Year's Day. We don't have to work. So yeah, January 2nd we come back, and I start out the day with grand plans of what I'm going to do. I know what I want to get done, and then typical like something throws a curveball at that, and I'm like, what's the word I want? Chaotic, as usual. And by the end of the day, when I finally stopped working at 8:00 at night, I was down. I was low energy, not tired. Yes, I was tired, but like it was really a low energy kind of feel. I was
I I hit the ground running yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
And I hit it hard. But I was happy with everything I accomplished yesterday. And oddly enough, one of the things I did yesterday was I archived all of the audio and video files we accumulated through 2023. And what impressed me most about that, this is the first time since we've been doing this that I managed to archive and back up everything to another drive within a couple hours.
Yeah, because of how we're networked or
because
whatever.
Because how our network is running and set up. And that was amazing for me to do that.
Proving it really is the little things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad it made you happy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, I worked on lots of stuff yesterday, so I was just sort of back and forth. And in the middle, started fixing the kids' insurance problem. That was, I had to make phone calls about that, y'all. Phone calls. That's how you can tell when something's important to me.
Yeah.
I will make a phone call. So, yeah. Since we talked about our plans and goals, there's nothing to go, oh, what are we working on? We already did that part. I don't anything else? Nothing else?
No.
I don't think so.
Silent mentioned way back in the beginning when Lola came up. Yes, she has a new collar.
Yes, it's hot pink.
Hot pink. That was her Christmas.
She got a new toy, and she got a new
toy.
collar. She gets a new collar every year because her collars get grotesque pretty quick.
Yeah. So yeah, she does have a new collar. They're all doing good. We did make a discovery about Lola.
My Lord, yes.
Lola has been on a diet for quite some time.
We aggressively monitor
Her
food intake.
Right. And she was losing weight. And then all of a sudden, we kind of looked at her one day and like, does it look like she's gotten even bigger?
Right. And we're like, and what the hell is going on? Right.
And we're like, what the heck? Well, I walk in the bedroom one day, and find Lola's head full on in the litter box.
You have to understand, I have 3 litter boxes for 2 cats. 2 of them are kind of behind doors that the cats can get in, but nobody else can. And then 1 is in our bathroom, which is like adjacent and attached to our bedroom. But we had for a long time had a baby gate up to keep Lola just out of our bedroom in general,
period.
so that the cats kind of had a place they could go.
Right.
But she had calmed down. The cats had calmed down. We're like, we'll take the baby gate down. And then, we look, I know she wasn't just eating litter. We know what she was in there. We know what she was eating out of the litter box. But also the litter we use is corn based. And I've watched her like a mop lick up litter that's on the floor. So it wasn't just the grossest of nuggets that she was eating. It was also the litter.
Yeah.
Which made sense because I kept going, how come? Like, I clean the litter boxes every other day, but I refill the litter and get it like at a good point, like once a week. And it was not lasting once a week.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Lola was the one going on.
Lola was, we had snack boxes for the boys. And apparently that was Lola's snack box. So
then you have to think about how many times she's licked you.
I know.
In between her starting to do that. And,
So the baby gate is back up on the bathroom. She still can get into the bedroom, but can no longer get to the any of the litter boxes.
Right, but it's on now the humans to retrain themselves to remember to close the gate. Baby gate. Yeah.
So miraculously, since we've cut her off from the snack box,
she has hips again.
She started losing weight again.
She has a shape, sort of, that's not just potato round.
Yeah. See, silent as, and you never noticed the cat poop breath. My sense of smell is almost non-existent.
And she never gets that close into my face. She will with JB. She was like all in it. But yeah. So no.
All my years of heavy smoking, cigarettes, and
all your sinus infections.
All my sinus infections, one after the other, pretty much trashed my sense of smell.
Which, I wish you could smell what you're supposed to smell.
Yeah.
However, the one thing I've never had to worry about is whether I have morning breath and how stinky my farts might be, because he can't fucking smell them. But something, whatever it may be, is a rank smell when JB's like, what the hell's that smell?
If it is strong enough and overpowering enough, it will make its way through. But if it makes it to the point that I can smell it, it's bad.
It's bad.
It's really bad.
Yeah, I worry about my own personal BO for me, but I don't worry, oh no, my daddy won't want to fuck me because I probably smell bad somewhere. Nah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. So Lola had her little
and then of course you get the mournful literal puppy dog eyes when she's cut off. It's like,
right,
bitch, please. You're not gonna just eat the fucking litter.
I've seen her a few times wander into the bedroom and just lay down staring into the bathroom with longing, mournful eyes.
Oh yeah.
Goofy dog. Yeah.
Yeah. But the cats are good. Onyx decided to go through like a bit of a hunger strike for 2 or 3 days again. It's just in this cycle where she does it. And now she's eating again. And she's fine.
Yep.
So, but.
So, yeah, all the fur babies are good. And, it's life is what it is.
Yeah. I would say same shit, different day, but not in a bad way.
Right, yeah.
Not in a negative way.
No.
No. We're just here existing as we always do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there are other things. They will come to us. We're back, so hopefully we'll remember them for next week's episode.
I have been enjoying my albums. I got 2 albums for Christmas.
And you found a relatively new to the area used record store.
Yes.
That we'll have to put JB on an allowance to be able to go in. Because he went in the first time just to see and walked out spending, what, $50? I was like, okay, $20.
Yeah.
But the prices on the used stuff was actually really good.
really, really good. Yeah. Yeah.
So
and yeah, I've also discovered I need to get a new stylus for my turntable. Come find out it's the original stylus, and when I pulled it off to look at it through a magnifying glass, it's
I'm amazed it didn't crumble like dust.
a little rough around the edges.
His stereo system is, we did the math, it's almost 50 years.
Around 78-ish is when.
Almost 50 years
Yeah.
old. Yeah. So.
Yep. Surprisingly enough, there are still parts made for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, next month I'll be getting a new.
I feel like in keeping with the topic, even though we're in the bonus section, it's starting in 2023, but now going into 2024, what are words? You are getting back to your music lover roots. Like, you are doing more things that just make you happy. And y'all, seeing him with his headphones on, cord connected to the stereo, he's sitting on the couch. Sometimes he's like playing a game or doing something on his phone or iPad, and sometimes he's holding the album cover and he's just bopping his head. If I'm in there, he's just bopping his head. If he thinks he's alone, or kind of like, you'll hear him singing, and he's in his bathrobe and his slippers and his soft clothes. He's just living his best JB life. And I think that's all any of us should ever want.
And it's nice, and I think that's something I have not done enough of for myself.
Oh, definitely, I agree with that.
And those little moments like that, I'm enjoying. I have my Spotify account, and I listen to Spotify every day when I'm out in the shop. I have earbuds, noise canceling earbuds that tamp down the noise of all the tools and allow me to listen to music. But there is just something different about listening to music on a vinyl album.
As long as you're happy.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So
on that note,
yeah.
probably let these good folks go about their day, and we go about our day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as always, there's stuff to do.
Yep.
We will be back next week. If you're a member of our Patreon or our YouTube member, we're doing a live stream on Saturday, January 6th, but we'll be back the following week. I know we'll do a Friday night hangout. I don't know the dates of those because I haven't looked at a calendar. Third Friday is usually when it is. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, we're back. We're not on break anymore.
Nope.
I'm being quiet on social media because I don't know what to say. So if you're like, where the hell did they go? That's why. So yeah, we're going to go.
Yep.
We will talk to y'all later.
Thanks for being here with us. We missed y'all.
Yep. Especially for it not being a productive kind of conversation this week. We really appreciate you actually being here for that.
Yeah.
We will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.